Yes, yes, yes. Welcome back, everybody,
Peace, peace, peace.
to the Intelligent Idea Talkers podcast. I'm your host, D.
This is your boy, Juice.
Yeah, man. And we back, man. Sorry about the hiatus. I know good podcasts are supposed to be consistently put up. But we had to take a little hiatus last week. Your boy went out of town.
After two shows, you might need a vacation.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So, went to Miami, man. It was cool. Beautiful weather, nice women, good food, man. It was just beautiful, man. It was perfect, But, I was saying, like, it was a funny thing I noticed down there is, like, when you're on vacation and you're seeing all these different things outside of your normal world, your normal 9 to 5, and, it's almost like towards the end of that, the first 2 days, 3 days, you're enjoying yourself. Man, this is beautiful, lovely, But by that, like, 4th, 5th day, you're kind of yearning to get back to that routine and into that bubble, it's
the comfort zone.
And I was thinking, man, like, why? Why is that? You're on vacation. The world is so much bigger than what you do during your normal day job, or in my case, night job. Like, but it's like why do you yearn to get back to that routine? I mean, I think a lot of it has to do with spending money, Yeah. But also that money ties into the routine, chasing money. You know what I mean? Like,
it's like you save all your money all this time to go on this vacation, and then you spend the money on vacation, and then you back to it. Like,
exactly.
As soon as it's over, you're back to it.
I'm tired of spending this money that I worked the last however many months for to go on this vacation. Now I'm tired of spending that money. I'll need to go back to my regular bubble and earn more money. But what is money? Like, I was on vacation. I was down there with palm trees, and it was beautiful, and it shows you that the world is so much bigger than Woodbridge, and
it's the niche we live in.
Yeah, just that niche, that kind of bubble that you live in, your routine, your work, your job. And it's like, man, I can't wait. It's like a yearning to go back and earn that, to chase that money again,
But then again, it was like you need to appreciate your vacation. Like, we need the structure, we need the routine, we need the work, and actually, to be able to enjoy the time off we have.
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying was the problem. Like, I enjoyed my time, I enjoyed my vacation, but it's like you're supposed to be in this dream, and I don't know. It's like that dream gets smashed by reality, and it's like you got to go back to your normal world, but I'm supposed to be enjoying this one. But I don't know, man. It's just funny. It just kind of makes you think that we're so indoctrinated into this whole, working culture. You get a job when you're 16.
That's true.
I mean, even before you're old enough to get a job, you're taught through school and everything to get up early, right, and be at a certain place at a certain time. Mm-hmm. That's all to benefit the workforce.
Man. They cookie cutters.
Exactly. I mean, it's we're so used to it, man.
But here's the trick. Funny. Here's the trick. I think the trick is to be able to enjoy when you're on vacation and enjoy yourself when you're not on vacation.
True.
Like, it kind of depends on the work you do. Like, if you're...
It's not all doom and gloom. There's a lot of joy in life.
There's a lot of things that... The routine can bring pleasure, and it brings structure, definitely. And I think for most part, most of us enjoy structure. I think cultures have always had structure.
Definitely. I mean, I miss my son. I was down there. Yeah. I didn't have see my son for a few days, man. I couldn't wait. That's part of my routine. It was my son every day. So
exactly.
Yeah, man. It was fun though. But yeah, man. What's been going on with you the last 2 weeks, man?
Hey, work.
Yeah, man. I'm
working.
Back into it.
Back to it.
That's what I'm saying. I'm back to my routine.
Working and training.
I wish I could have enjoyed my palm trees and sunshine a little more towards the end than I was.
Yeah.
But it's like, man, But anyways, Intelligent Idea Talkers podcast. Yeah, so we're gonna review Captain America:
Civil War.
Civil War, man. Wow, man. This was a great movie, man. I mean, I don't want to say that this movie supplants Iron Man, the very first Iron Man, as possibly the greatest superhero movie I've seen. The first Iron Man kind of brought us into that Marvel Cinematic Universe, and it was special, when you saw him testing the phasers and with his rocket balance and everything.
What did it for me? Actually, was the first, not the first, but the Hulk movie with Eric Bana. You remember that
was
one?
cool.
It was cool, but for that time, like when that came out, it was like, oh snap!
But
like,
even if you go before that, it's like even X-Men. I never thought they would be able to make the first X-Men. I was like, there's no way they'll be able to make that movie. When you go back and look at it now, it looks so plastic and kind of cheap.
Yeah, it was trashy.
Yeah, it's still cool for that time, man. Like you said, I mean, the first Hulk was cool, but I don't know. Iron Man just kind of brought us into this era that we're in now. That was like the first movie, you know what I mean? And then the next movie, speaking of the Hulk, the next Hulk movie, you saw Tony Stark come in at the end, with Edward Norton. Remember Tony Stark came in and talked to the general, and so, but yeah, man, Captain America: Civil War, man, this was an awesome movie. Go see it with the fam. I mean, it had to be number 2 on my superhero list, man. Top superhero movie list. It was perfect.
Since the intro, when they were in, where were they in? Lagos, Nigeria.
Yeah. They were Africa. Yeah,
they were Africa. And since the very beginning,
from beginning to end,
action
I was
up
in my seat. I was sitting in my seat. I was laughing. I mean, it was a surprisingly emotional when Captain America told and surprised everybody. Spoilers. So if you haven't seen this movie. This is a spoiler alert for Captain America.
Turn it off now if you ain't seen it.
Exactly.
Come back to us after you've seen it.
When Tony Stark asked Captain America, "Did you know?" I said, "Yo, please say no. Please say you did not know, man." Because I'm in that joint like, I'm surprisingly invested in these characters that we spent all these years watching in these movies, and it's like, I mean, man, like when he said, "Yes, I knew." First of all, how did he know? Like, we didn't see
that's a good point.
Video.
Nobody ever talked about that. Because honestly, I don't think that's consistent.
It's not.
Did Winter Soldier kill Tony Stark's parents?
I don't know, but I like it. I like it for storytelling purposes. Yeah, for this movie.
But why?
But how did Captain America find out? Maybe in his research, trying to find Bucky, he ran across the footage or the fact that he took on his mission to kill Stark. But at the same time, like, Captain America, you knew Howard Stark. You knew Tony Stark's dad. He made you. He was the man, the brains behind you being Captain America. He made your shield. You know, and then when Tony Stark tells him, "You don't deserve that shield. My father made that shield." I said, "Yeah, man, drop that shield."
Yeah, he was like, "Fuck that, Joe. I don't need
take that shield." No. For real.
Shit don't make you, man.
You were complicit. Not complicit. You didn't know when it happened, but you knew that this thing happened. And at the same time, I feel Captain America because that's his brother. So he, you know, they were in there bonding before they even walked into the little underground lair.
Right?
Yeah, they were bonding. And remember that girl back in 1942 when we walked to the place and you spent all our money? Yeah, so that's his family. That's one of the only people that knows him. Yeah. You know, before he was
from like 100 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, they're both over 100 years old. So
yeah, man.
I mean, you know, I feel him wanting to protect him, but.
I gotta admit, that was a twist though. Like, I like that they did that. You know, because that drew me back in all over. Like after the fight at the airport, which was amazing.
That was like a fucking tight scene.
Yo, that was amazing.
It was a cool
like
movie.
Spider-Man came through and just wrecked Soldier and Falcon. Yo, it's like,
yo, I mean, there was a surprisingly a lot of emotional weight to the end of this movie, and they brought it back home nicely, just like you said. It brought you back into the movie. I mean, it was crazy, man. That airport fight scene, like you just brought up, man. Spider-Man was... If they would have left Spider-Man in this movie for 5 more minutes, I wouldn't have gave a damn about Captain America or Iron Man. All right? Show me more Spider-Man. Okay?
They reached the limit.
Even before when he was Peter Parker, when Tony Stark was sitting in his apartment with Aunt May, who was surprisingly young for Aunt May. I've never seen a Aunt May this young.
You were trying to hit that,
guess. Yeah, he was. Tony was trying to push up on it.
You let Joe flirting.
I mean, the whole scene was funny, man. I mean, the way he walked in, he was a kid, a teenager. He doesn't know much about his powers. I mean, he's using them.
Yeah, just got him. Like,
I'm glad they didn't show us like his origin story or get too emotional about it. Like, we know who Spider-Man is. There's 5 movies that are out before this Spider-Man that we've seen his origin. We know about
they did
Ben.
The origin story twice.
And we know about May. We know, you know, that he was a young kid and he was a poor kid. And I mean, we know. So I like the way they just threw us into it. It's like, man, this is footage of you stopping this car from wrecking a bus. And he's like, no, that's YouTube. You know what I mean? Like, it was funny, man. The whole thing was funny, man. I love the scene, man. Like Ant-Man, when he blew up in the Giant Man.
Yo, that was, I'm sorry, ridiculous. That was funny, yo.
He's holding, War Machine. He's like, oh, ha, ha, ha. You know what I mean? Laughing at the mask. This fucking movie was cool, man. I enjoyed myself from
yes, with
beginning
orange
to
slices
end.
at the end.
Yeah, it was so cool, man. And
Yeah,
I mean,
man.
I'm not even that big on Ant-Man necessarily as a superhero. I mean, tell me this: can ants really fly out of a plane? I mean, right? They don't have enough mass to be able to fly through wind currents down to the ground. Like, have you seen Ant-Man? You seen it?
I've seen it.
Remember he like parabombed or whatever on the back of an ant. And I can see if you
Dude,
can
I'm
make
seriously thinking about this, John. Like,
I see
look,
if you
if
can
I
make
was
the
an ant size,
yeah, I mean,
could I zoom in?
he can't even fly through the air like that if he's ant size.
He's not flying. He's kind of like he's descending.
Does he retain his
What's terminal
normal
velocity?
man strength in the size of an ant? Or does he
I don't
gain the
understand
strength
that.
of an ant?
I'll be honest, I don't understand that.
Because
Because
the
he
ant-
definitely threw Black Widow. He definitely
did.
like tossed the arm on her back and like
threw her.
shoulder flipped her
Maybe the
from an
suit-
ant size.
They were building
I
a
don't
new
know.
suit at the end of the movie. Maybe the suit enhances his strength or something like that. But
Yeah.
I know ants can lift many times their body weight, so they're kind of super strong in a sense, right? For their size.
I'm just gonna chalk it up to Pym particles.
Yeah, it's, Pym, Professor Pym.
Yeah, Pym particles. I
Yeah,
just
man,
leave
it was
at that.
cool,
I don't
man.
know.
And I mean, I like the way they kind of used all the characters in this movie. Tony Stark, you know, he was like a government lackey almost. You know what I mean? Like they were kind of, but he saw the bigger picture. We forget at the end of the first Avengers, Tony Stark flew through the portal. He
did.
saw that alien army on the other side. You know,
But wait a
you
minute,
can't
but
assume
that's
that
part
Nuke-
of the problem.
you can't assume that Nuke destroyed that army. He knows something is out there, so they need to be organized. That's why he made Ultron in the second Avengers movie. He wanted a form of artificial intelligence. That's why he wanted to make Vision.
But Ultron created the Sokovia incident, right? So Stark made Ultron.
Okay, but he sees there's a side effect, okay? And then he inserted Jarvis, and he didn't have a malicious artificial intelligence trying to take over the Earth. He had, he had Jarvis, and it made it all better. You know, now Jarvis is a good guy. You know,
It's Vision.
Vision's got to die though, right? Because when they actually make the Infinity Gauntlet movies, we have to see the Mind Stone inside the Infinity Gauntlet, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
that's true.
That it
I
has
don't know
to
if
be
he's gonna
ripped out of
die,
his
though.
head. It has to come out of his head.
Is he still
think
AI or is he the
I mean, his
The,
body is
the-
science based, so isn't it like organic?
the Mind Stone? Is he the Mind Stone? I don't think
the
he's the
Mind
Mind
Stone
Stone. I think he
powers
just uses it.
I don't know. I don't get it. Yeah, that's a good
Because
question.
Ultron existed without the and Jarvis existed before without the Mind
Mhm.
Stone. You know,
Maybe he just uses the Mind Stone as a tool. Yeah, but yeah, that Mind Stone. I mean, it's going to go into the Infinity Gauntlet, so something's going to happen to him. But yeah, man, it was a super cool movie, man.
yo, tell me you didn't cringe when War Machine.
Oh, when he hit
when
the
he
ground.
hit-
Oh man,
Boom.
you know,
Yeah.
I heard somebody say on another review that it would have been more weighty if
We didn't.
would've died.
Really?
in that because it would have added
Hey,
more of an
come on.
emotional punch to it. I mean, because you know, if you think about Don Cheadle, the actor who plays War Machine, he's getting up there in years. I mean, I think they had even some contract negotiations for Robert Downey Jr. to continue playing Iron Man. I think they had to renegotiate. I'm not sure. I gotta do a little research on that. But you can't expect him to have Don Cheadle for the next even 2.
Here's my problem with
Superhero
that,
movies.
though. So, I think I'm glad they
If you
didn't
kill him all,
kill him.
somebody else can replace.
I'm
because
glad they
it-
didn't kill him because that means that it had just been another black guy dying for the cause in the movie. So that's exactly what happened in the comic books. They killed Goliath. So Goliath was another superhero who grew to giant size.
Mhm.
Thor came down, or robotic Thor came down, hit him with a lightning bolt, blast a hole through his chest, killed Goliath. At that point, everybody was like, holy shit, this is serious. So I feel like if they had killed him, it just would have been too close. Like they did just, because when I first saw that in the comic books, I was like, okay, well, this is clearly just another black guy dying for the cause. In another movie trope, you know?
See, that's why that's exactly the trope. I mean, they were saying that there's not
I'm glad they didn't kill him.
a lot of weight to, or like, excuse me, not weight, but there's not a lot of consequences to superhero movies, you know? And if they had have
Like
gone
not
the
steep
route
enough.
of, that I'm not trying to make it a racial thing, but I guess in a sense it would be. But if that character had died, that would have been a huge emotional weight or a huge emotional shift that would have changed everybody's mindset. I mean, to that point, up to that point, Tony starts trying to keep order. He wants them to sign the Sokovia Accords. It
would have made it way more serious. But I don't think they could have made it more serious though, because they still have to come back together to fight Thanos for Infinity. So they can't go that far out. Like whatever's going on, they gotta wrap that shit up.
I guess now I'm thinking about
movies to do.
Even it was the emotional punch came at the end when Captain America said he knew about the Winter Soldier killing Tony Stark's parents.
But even that's forgivable though.
That's crazy.
If Rhodes had died, that's kind of too far to forgive. You killed another guy. Like that's why the comic books got so serious. Mm-hmm. Like at that point, nobody was fucking. They weren't going to end. No one was going to shake hands and head their separate ways or disagree. Mm-hmm. Agree to disagree. There was no agreeing to disagree after Goliath died. So if he had died, it wouldn't have been. They couldn't have pulled back the team back together. Now here's what I thought was going to happen. I thought Hawkeye was going to die.
What's the point of Hawkeye?
Exactly. What is the point? He needs to die.
But even if you go that route, what's the point of Black Widow?
He needs a. But
she's hot. I like looking at her on screen. She's hot in every movie she's been in. But
she doesn't give me the feeling that she's old. Like he gives me the feeling like he's old and barely hanging in there.
Yeah, but he did retire in his defense. Exactly. Captain America called him.
That's true.
And he's supposed to be like a dead shot, but he has no enhancement, but mechanical enhancements to him or anything. He's just kind of boring, Like if you look at him in any movie, Hulk's jumping from building to building, smashing into guys. Captain America throwing a shield, flips over a car, kicks the car into a guy.
Like the first Avengers movie, when he was in the building, he's
standing there shooting the arrows in every direction. Like it's pointless, man. You're not even doing anything cool.
Just stay over there.
Stay out of the way, Hawkeye. All right. Before you get hurt.
There's a guy over there.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Get him. Go get that guy over there. Yeah, that's you.
We got wheelchair to handle.
What's the point of Hawkeye?
True.
But it was a cool movie. Spider-Man stole the show.
I don't know. I think Black Panther did. Spider-Man was amazing.
We didn't touch on Black Panther this whole time. Yeah, Black Panther was awesome, man. I liked his. One question I have though: what gives him his enhancement? Like his enhanced speed and strength. He takes some kind of serum.
I don't know what they're gonna use for the movie, but in the comic books, it's a heart-shaped herb that he takes with the trials of becoming the king, and he has like a lifetime of training, in like 100 martial arts, and he's like a billionaire.
Maybe they'll have more time to dive into that.
And then his costume is also like. Vibranium, right? So it was knit, so it absorbs impact from bullets.
Yeah.
It's like magical. He's just like a whole lot of stuff going on with Black Panther,
Hopefully we dive into more of that with his upcoming movie.
Kind of overpowered, but
they have to come out with a solo movie for him now. I mean, the actor who played him, the character who plays T'Challa was cool. I mean, there was no real flaws there. I mean,
Chadwick Boseman, right?
I like the actor. I like the way he looked.
Good,
I like the way he carried himself. I like the way they showed a well-off, industrious African nation. You know what I mean? Even though we didn't see much of the outside of Wakanda, this fictional land that T'Challa's king of. It's not that big. I mean, when they showed it on the map, I'm like, that's it, man. Like, I mean,
but it's right in the center.
Yeah, I guess, and they would be rich because of the vibranium deposits that they can mine, right? But
and their technology is advanced.
Aren't they trying to?
It's awesome,
but. The way they fund that technology and all that would presumably be through the vibranium, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, are they selling it on the black market or something like that? Because I thought that was supposed to be like a protected secret. Like
as far as I know from the comic books, from what I've heard, like they'll sell it, or they'll make certain contracts with certain people or certain countries for certain reasons.
Stark and stuff like that.
Yeah, they have their contracts, and they'll send their people to schools in different countries, and then they'll come back and they'll add their technology to their civilization, new things they invent with their resources.
I like the way they showed that, man. That was cool.
Yeah,
they set that character up perfect for a solo movie, man. This movie could be as big as Captain America. I mean, Why
I hope
not?
so. You know,
if you
you
pour
heard
the kind of funding and advertising and promotion into Black Panther as you did into maybe not Civil War, but Captain America: Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Make it that style of a movie. I mean, this character is badass. He's strong. He looks cool. I mean, his alter ego is smooth.
They have the producer in it. So they have a good producer for the
Mm-hmm.
movie. I haven't seen Creed, but
I haven't either.
Apparently Creed was amazing.
I mean, that movie got
Michael B. Jordan is signed up for
yeah.
Michael B. Jordan is signed up for a Black
Mm-hmm.
Panther movie, and I think they have who's the girl Lumpia. Yeah. So she's apparently at least in negotiations for signing up on the movie, which I think that might be interesting to see how that goes. You know, because if you have these, it looks like a black powerhouse movie that's not going to be a Chirac. You know,
exactly.
It's not, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, this could be a mainstream
science
superhero
fiction
science blockbuster movie, summertime movie.
with black people.
You could reach this. You could
I'm
release
sorry,
this movie
I get
next
excited.
May, and it'll probably do just as big. I mean, they set this character up perfectly with this movie, man. I mean, the guy was cool. He looked smooth.
Now I'm nervous.
I love the way they were running through the tunnel and kind of chasing the cars down and stuff like that, because they did like the superhuman running, and it looked realistic. You know, it didn't look like they were.
I don't know. I felt like that was the one part where I kind of I was like, okay, I'll just ignore that.
My thing is like
they were like skating / running. I was like, okay,
well,
that's cool.
You think that they're taking like enormously powerful steps, so you would look more graceful. I mean, you have more muscle control. I understand the enhancement with Winter Soldier and Captain America. They didn't dive into anything that makes T'Challa more enhanced. I mean, besides the vibranium, and does that mean he can run faster? And
well,
I don't get it. Like, does he have a suit? I mean, I would imagine he has like some kind of mechanized armor underneath that. And maybe it's laced with a vibranium.
I think he has some kind of padding on the bottom of it. Some vibranium padding that reduces friction so it doesn't cause noise. I don't know anything about him running faster. See, that's the thing about the movie. He really kind of, in the movie, he came out of nowhere with just like, all right, I'm on par with Captain America for no real reason other than I'm just here, because I'm just cool like that.
It just popped up and had like a super cool jet following
exactly.
Tony Stark. Like, how you know where Tony Stark was? Well, I guess his nation is industrious and they have a lot of technology. So
they got cool. They got some stuff to sort out in the movie, because as far as I know, in the comics he doesn't get the heart-shaped herb that gives him a lot of his abilities until after he's king.
My grade for this movie is definitely A+++++. I mean, I've seen the movie twice. Now, I don't pay for movies twice, okay? I went and saw this movie twice so far. You know what I mean? And I mean, it was just as good, man. I mean, buy it on DVD, whatever you got to do.
I'm definitely a cop. All right, so there's one more thing I want to bring up on the movie before we wrap this joint up. So, what did you think about the villain, Baron Zemo?
Listen, this is why Marvel just overshadows DC so much, especially in this comparison that we have is, like we talked about the last 2 episodes, Batman vs. Superman versus this particular Marvel movie. He was the bad guy, but he wasn't the big bad. The bad guys was the Avengers.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the main fight at the end. It was Tony Stark versus Captain America. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he was a small side character as far as the scheme.
He was. His whole plan was to pit them against each other. There was no, contrary to most other superhero movies that come out, there was no big bad at the end of this. The big bad was the Avengers, was themselves. You know what I mean?
Fighting against each other.
I love that, man. I thought that was so cool because, like, when they walked in and the other soldiers are shot in the head,
right?
Like, yo,
right.
what the hell's going
on? Me.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, so we're gonna be fighting new villains now. But no, they completely twisted twisted it right back around to the original issue.
You're wondering, like, okay, so what's the play here? He shot all the other soldiers.
I thought it was too much to let go. I didn't think they were going to be able to resist that temptation, but they did, and they kept it on topic.
When they walked in there, I was fully expecting the superhero movie trope where you walk in and you're going to see this awesome kind of fight scene with Captain America, Winter Soldier, Iron Man versus these super badass assassin people. And you walked in and they're shot in the head. Like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
And the guy behind the glass, like, I didn't want more of you, Captain America. What the hell are you talking about? You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, man, this dude, and he was just a human. He didn't try to physically fight them. He didn't try to blow up the world or anything like that. I just want to destroy you guys internally. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I want to pit you guys against
each other.
Exactly. That was so cool, man. Marvel is killing DC. I don't know what DC is doing. I don't know what the plan is, but they have to do something.
Yeah.
At this point, do you think they can catch Marvel as far as like
no
anticipation of their movies?
I do not think so.
I do, man, because
I'm sorry.
There's room in this. There's room in this genre for. There's room for Batman, and there's room for Superman. There's room for Aquaman. They just have to make the movies interesting and give the people what they want to see, man. We want to see action. We want it to be funny. I like the kind of dark spin that DC wants to put on their heroes and make it a little more mature and they're a little bigger, you know what I mean? And they look a little more vicious, you know, because they are metahumans, you know. We don't really know exactly what Aquaman is all about. You know, he looks menacing. When you first see him, you're like, oh my God, you know, this is Aquaman. He's got an army. You know, is crazy. But, you know, they have to give us what we want to see, man. Captain America Civil War gave us everything we wanted to see. Me personally, everything I wanted to see in a movie. You know, it was funny. The action was cool. The characters were good.
Comedy dialogue.
Was there. Dialogue made sense. The story made sense.
It was good, man.
It hit you emotionally in the gut at the end when he tells Captain America tells Tony, yes, I knew he killed your parents. I knew he killed them. Yeah. What? You knew he killed my people? You know what I mean? It was crazy, man. That was a great movie, man. Good experience. Man. Go see the movie. Go see it.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, man. You know, unfortunately, we have to cut the podcast a little short this evening. Just got a call, man. I got to go pick up the other little youngin' over here, man. You know,
that's life, man.
We will be back next week, folks. We'll be back to our regular schedule, unless you have any other plans or anything like that, man. Going out of town or anything like that.
Nah, I'll be around, man. Yeah, I'm ready for the next show. Scarlett's coming. Scarlett's coming next week, man. Or this week. She's coming this week. Mm-hmm. And dude, I'm excited. So,
yeah,
definitely. My daughter is gonna be back in town. So
little Dariana has somebody to play with.
Yeah,
and record. Yeah.
Yep.
That's cool, man. That's what's up, man. Yeah, I mean, it was so many more topics I wanted to hit on too, man. Like, I'm sorry, folks. I just got the phone call like 5 minutes ago. You know, I don't want to keep this little guy waiting. The thing is, like, when they get back to the school. Because he plays lacrosse. It's my stepson. When they get back to the school, the coaches can't leave the school until the parents show up to pick up the kids. You know what I mean? So yeah, so you know they're waiting there, and if you're the last kid there, they're kind of like looking at you like, yo, you should have been up here early. We told you what time, you know. But my thing is like, why the hell did these games run so late? You know what I mean? Like this is late. I mean, it's 9:49 p.m. Eastern time. I don't know where you're listening to this, if you are listening. And this game just ended. They went to school at 6 a.m. this morning, 6:30. Like, what? That's longer than a J-O-B-B, you know?
You getting overtime for that?
Damn, like, you know, they getting paid? I don't know. I don't get it, man.
That's cool, though. He plays lacrosse, though.
So many more topics I wanted to bring up, man. We're going to have to hit it this next episode, man. You know.
It's cool though. So next week, y'all, check us out. Tune in. Intelligent Idea Talkers podcast. We're on YouTube. Working on the Facebook page, setting up, and got some photos and new content for you guys real soon.
Yeah, man, no doubt, man. Thanks, guys, for tuning in, man. Appreciate everybody.
All right. Good night,
sir.
Peace.